Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 37 of the Yinzhers podcast. We're coming up on 1 year of Yinzhers, which is crazy to me. Crazy. In the next couple weeks, we're going to hit a year, and that's wild and exciting and so awesome. But I'm Jordan DeFigio. I'm here with Samantha James and Morgan Urtso. There's some stuff going on. I hear that there's a pretty important football game coming up next week. And there was an even more important game yesterday, but I wasn't able to watch. But as far as the Steelers go, that Pro Bowl, that was something else. Oh my God, that was garbage.
You know what? Before we go on, speaking of the Pro Bowl, I saw on Twitter someone today, I forget who they credited with this idea. So please forgive me if this was your idea. I want to say... shoot, I'm not going to remember whose it was, but it was an idea to replace the Pro Bowl because the Pro Bowl is not competitive. It's not fun to watch. It's not like these guys are going out there and playing their best football. They're not.
Right.
But someone said an idea to replace the Pro Bowl would be to take the two teams with the worst record that year. So this year we're looking at the Lions and the Jags, right? Yeah. And have them play each other for the number one pick.
Dude. I saw that tweet too, and now that you're saying it, I don't remember who said it. But yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Idea. Is that not the best idea? Because it's going to be a competitive football game. These guys are going to be playing their hearts out for that number one pick. It is such a good idea. No one. I don't watch the Pro Bowl. Does anyone watch the Pro Bowl?
I did not watch the Pro Bowl.
The only reason anyone tunes into the Pro Bowl is like for their little prop bets. I guarantee it because no one cares. About anything else. It's irrelevant. Yeah.
Or it's like literally the only thing that's on and you put it on the TV in the background,
as background noise.
There's nothing else.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it was yesterday. Yep.
I was literally, instead of watching the Pro Bowl, I watched Star Trek reruns with my dad.
Hey, there you go. That's better.
You're like, that was
literally
more exciting
than the Pro Bowl. Yes, Deep Space Nine. Let's go. That's what I did. So, let's rethink this Pro Bowl thing. But anyway.
I love that idea. Oh, my God. That would be really riveting football.
It would be. Play for something.
It's consequential. You know? There's something at stake. Yeah. The Pro Bowl is like trash. It's over. Thank God.
We'll put it on a
God
shirt.
We made it through.
The Pro Bowl is ass trash. Our next Yinzhers shirt.
Get ready. Yep. Pre-sales go live tomorrow at midnight. But yeah, so the Steelers, we knew this was coming. We saw that there was word of the Steelers promoting yet again from within Terrell Austin. He's officially been hired as the defensive coordinator to take over from Keith Butler. I am personally, maybe it's just where I am in life as a person, a human being, but I am so sick of being told like, well, just wait it out. Just see, give him a chance. That's exactly what everybody said about Matt Canada. It's exactly what everybody said about Randy Fichtner. It's exactly what everybody said about Keith Butler. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we're over waiting it out.
Exactly. Like, you don't have to go out and make a splashy hire just for the sake of it. But the fact that you didn't even look, like, there was no due diligence done. It was just like, well, we have to look within the organization. So here we go. And you know what? As I always say, I hope he proves me wrong. I really do hope that he does a fantastic job. I do. But forgive me for being skeptical that maybe this also is going to be a dumpster that just totally bursts into flames. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
I mean, isn't Mike Tomlin famous for saying things that everyone, like, stating the obvious? And what he said recently was what the definition of insanity is. I mean, he literally quoted it, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. He literally said that recently. And it's exactly what he proceeded to do, what we proceeded to do with this defensive coordinator hire. It's interesting because you look at Terrell Austin, and some people would argue that he's not an inside hire, which I've seen this argument on Twitter and I'm like, yes, he is. He worked for us last year. He is literally the definition of an inside hire. But because he came from another team a couple years ago, they're calling him an outside hire. Okay, in that case, Matt Canada was also an outside hire.
Right.
You know what I mean? So no, first of all, he was promoted from within. He was an inside hire. Let's just establish that right off the bat. Number two, he did. I will give him some credit. He's a very well-respected coach in this league. He has a good track record. And he did get the Giants requested to interview him for their defensive coordinator position. However, the likelihood of that request potentially being a Rooney Rule request is enough to make me not only livid, because the Rooney Rule needs to be there were good intentions behind it. I believe in the intentions behind it, but it failed to do what it set out to accomplish.
Exactly.
Because what it's doing is it's letting these teams check a box and not give some of these guys real actual interviews. So if they were going to go in and blow some team's socks off, the team wouldn't know it because it's not an actual interview. They're just checking the Rooney Rule box. Right. And the same several coaches get recycled in and out and they're not getting jobs. So like what it set out to accomplish is not being accomplished. So let's redo how the Rooney Rule works first and foremost. But was that request that was very obviously declined? Like they were not granted permission to interview him by the Steelers because the Steelers wanted to hire him. But was that request solely a Rooney Rule request? We don't know. I do know he's respected in the league, but as far as like defensive coordinator for this team, you know, it feels up front like more of the same.
Yeah. I don't know, Sam, how do you feel about it?
I feel like it's so funny, Morgan. Like, we missed you last week because Jordan and I feel like we were just sitting here and we were like just so pessimistic, and we were like, we need Morgan here to be like the sun and like everything's gonna be good. And me and Jordan were just like, no, it's not good. Everything sucks over here.
Yeah, it was bad. Bad.
So, yeah. You know what? I'm going to jump right into Aditi's tweet today because I saw her getting dragged all over Twitter. And I'm going to read this. So. And I want to see the reaction because she's not wrong in this statement. And she said, Terrell Austin is a tremendous coach and teacher, one players respond to universally. He's also one of the finest men I have met in this industry. May he get to design and call his own defense, and if he doesn't, may Steelers fans not scapegoat him as they did his predecessor. Which circles back into, does it really matter?
Hates Mike Tomlin.
Yes, but does it matter who the defensive coordinator is? If
we've been saying this.
Yeah.
All year on this show, we have been saying all year that Mike Tomlin is very clearly the one calling the defense. So does it actually matter? And who would want that job? Because then they're a scapegoat. We've been saying it all year. It's funny when it comes from Aditi because she's always taking jabs at Mike Tomlin publicly and claiming to be an unbiased news source. And
still really mad that he didn't ask about your kid? Like,
oh my God, that's,
Are we going back to that? Yeah, I mean, she's definitely biased. Like, there's no doubt about it. But this tweet, I was like, she's not wrong.
Yeah, you can be biased and also every now and then be right.
Right.
And Mike Tomlin is like, he has a history of working with defenses. So that in itself is not surprising that he would take a special interest in the defense because he is a defensive mind. But to have the defense, like, talk all you want about Stephon Tuitt being out, about Tyson Alualu being out. We've heard it all before. Shut up. We don't care. When you're toting Devin Bush out onto the field week after week of him looking like not like he's returning from an injury, like a leg injury,
Right.
but like he doesn't even know how to play the game or even understand the game.
Right.
Looking like
And
he's
you're
returning from a head injury.
Exactly. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, we have confidence in him. What? Yeah. Okay, great. You're not going to like throw your guys under the bus, but understand that image doesn't matter if you're protecting an image that is a mirage.
Right.
Like you're not a good team.
Right.
And
Right.
you're trying to like put this front out of, oh, we know what we are. We know what Devin Bush can do. He's great. Yeah, your defense sucks against the run, sucks against defending tight ends. Like in the middle of the field, you're just being torn apart. What are you doing? Why are you trying to convince us that you're good at what you're doing when we can see that you are failing week in and week out? And that is concerning. And yeah, it does come down to like, it's not this dude's fault if the defense looks exactly like it did this year, because he wasn't running the defense last year. Keith Butler was running the defense last year.
And will fans start to pick up on that? I did see an interesting tweet, and this is the last thing I'll say on this topic, but I did see an interesting tweet a few weeks ago from, again, I'm forgetting who it was from, but apparently 14 coaches across this league, head coaches, call either the offense or the defensive plays. So it's not this weird anomaly that Mike Tomlin calls the defense. It's not like it's not done in this league. The issue that we have, the three of us, I think collectively, and the fans who realize that Mike Tomlin is the one calling the defense as well, is that he is failing.
Right.
Like the defense is not good. So I would love to see Terrell Austin, who apparently is a great defensive mind, have a hand in this game, right? Like I would like to see his presence made known, calling those defensive plays. So it will be quite interesting to see what happens. If we see more of the same, Steelers fans, wake up. It's Mike Tomlin calling the same plays again.
Yep.
If it feels different, then you can accredit it to Terrell Austin for the better or for worse.
Yeah, but honestly, even just like any change at this point would be welcome. Just like try something different.
Right. Just show us you're willing to do something different.
Yeah. Yeah, and Morgan, you mentioned the Rooney Rule a little bit. Like there's a lot going on in the NFL right now. Like the Steelers may be out, and they've been out for weeks, but like, oh my God, across the league, it's just been a mess. Roger Goodell is under fire.
News day.
Oh my God, yeah. The Washington football team, who are now the Commanders, which is so stupid, is a mess. Like there are just so many rumors about coaches being paid. Is that what they are?
No, they have
that's right.
It's
oh my
red,
God.
and they're calling it the comrags.
That's disgusting. Like,
and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, please
you guys
stop.
can interpret from what you want with that.
Please
but
stop.
They're dead serious, and I was like, I thought this was a joke.
This is embarrassing.
I thought it was a joke too.
The name was already horrible, and then you came out with the rags.
It's almost like they're punking themselves. Like it's almost like they're asking themselves, how can we pick the worst name possible? And that's the one they went with, because they're trying to distract from the fact that they held a sexual harassment investigation that was actually used to serve as a way of putting together a defense against sexual harassment allegations.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Roger Goodell allegedly was complicit in that action. So maybe they're the comrags because it distracts a little bit from the fact that they're fucked up.
Yep. And I totally believe that Roger Goodell was complicit because he does not want to deal with anything if he doesn't have to, because all he cares about is bringing in revenue to the league. That's why they added the 7th seed to each conference, and that's why they added the extra game, and that's why they're trying to like throw wild card games on Monday night. Like, he's just so obsessed with finding ways to make the league money.
Right.
And if he can sweep anything under the rug that isn't favorable for the league, he will do that. And it's just absolutely a disaster. Like, even with all of the the Brian Flores stuff that's come out about like teams being incentivized to tank for draft picks. Like, what's going on, Roger Goodell? Get a grip on your league. Like, this is unacceptable. And the fact that this is all being put out there, and it's basically it's just continuing to be confirmed by more and more people. It's like, we knew that this league was a mess, but oh my God, we had no idea the level of mess.
We don't trust Roger Goodell. I don't trust that you're going to do a thorough investigation. I know it's going to be biased. There's too many things that have come out at this point to convince me otherwise. And so it's hard to sit here as a woman and be like, I love the NFL, and then look at this side of it and then be like, okay, I'm just going to sweep that away because I do love football. Like, it's getting really dicey here. Like,
absolutely. And then, he releases some bullshit memo blowing smoke up everybody's asses about how it's unacceptable that there's no diversity at the head coach position and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Raj, sure, we believe you because you have done nothing up to this point to make us think that that's what you actually believe. You have been complicit in teams tanking their season under minority head coaches and then firing those head coaches as if it's the head coach's fault.
Right.
When the teams have paid their coaches, even though Hugh Jackson walked it back a little bit, there's no difference. They were incentivizing the losses, whether it was monetarily or otherwise. They were incentivizing losses. Roger Goodell knew about it. Roger Goodell knew that the Washington football team was using that investigation to build a strategy to defend against sexual harassment allegations. Roger Goodell knew about that. So then he releases some memo that's supposed to, again, distract, because that's what these organizations do. That's what these corrupt organizations do, is they distract because they know that something's coming out. Something's coming out that's going to tarnish their reputation, or it's going to hurt their job or their image or their pocketbook, their bank account. And so they come up with some way to distract. So Roger Goodell releases this bullshit memo about it being unacceptable. And then, only then, is a minority head coach hired. Is he? He's not. He's biracial. Mike McDaniel was hired as the Dolphins head coach, and a lot of people took issue with that. I can't speak on it. I'm not a minority. I can't speak on it. What I can say is, okay, like, cool. And then finally, again, after the memo, Lovie Smith is hired as the Texans head coach. This happened Monday morning. Okay. All right. So only after the memo is released does that happen. Is this not sus? Like, is this not something that everyone's looking at and being like,
okay. And again,
wait a minute.
We're at, I don't even want to say three minority coaches. Like,
well, okay. So if we're talking like minority, then we have Saleh up in New York.
Right.
And we have, shoot, I had the other one. Is
Rivera?
Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Washington.
So again, we have a total of 5 in the entire league considered a minority. And
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5. Like, it's a problem. And again, is the Rooney Rule actually working and the way that it was designed to be working? And that's the real issue. No. And it's like, okay, well, we hired 2, so we're just going to ignore this problem again, which is what the NFL does. They never actually address
Put a Band-Aid on it.
The issues. Exactly right. They're just like, oh, it's a little leak. Okay, we'll just plug it and keep moving on.
We'll give you enough to make you shut up about it for a year.
Yeah.
And then next time it rolls around, we'll do the same thing. And Roger Goodell or whoever our commissioner is, the next time this happens, which will inevitably be next year, because I guarantee you in Houston, Lovie Smith is being handed a bag of dicks and they want him to turn it into fucking wine.
Right. Yep. Right. It's a mess down there.
Same thing that happened to David Culley is going to happen to Lovie Smith because inevitably he's going to have a losing season and he's not going to get the chances that coaches like Adam Gase got.
Right.
Yep.
Jeez.
Why is that? That's the issue. It's not the fact that we're sitting here saying, oh, hire this guy because he's black. That's not the issue.
Right.
They're not being given the same opportunity.
Exactly.
And that's the issue. And how do we expand the Rooney Rule to include the opportunity after the fact? And let's not just check a box.
Right.
Exactly. Because you look at it and guys like Brian Flores, who are really good coaches, are being thrust into these situations like Miami Dolphins.
Dumpster fires of an organization and then being
terrible.
Like, I don't know, you're the coach, figure it out.
Yep. And then whenever they come out into the light and say, this is what's going on, this isn't okay, then all of a sudden their job is...
They're blacklisted.
Up for grabs.
Right.
Yep. And...
What's he supposed to do now? Because he came out and said, this happened to me and this was not right. No one's going to hire him, at least for a few years, because they know now that no matter what happens behind closed doors, if he feels slighted, he's going to go public with it. And these organizations aren't willing to risk that. What does that tell you about them? What does that tell you that what's going on behind those closed doors? So I don't know what the solution is as far as expanding the Rooney Rule to be more all-encompassing, to offer actual real opportunities and not just allow these teams to check a stupid box and send someone on their way and regurgitate the same 5 minority head coaches for interviews.
Exactly.
And then not give it to them. I don't know what the expansion is. I don't know what the whole rebrand is for the Rooney Rule. I just know that it needs to happen. And I'm not the expert here. We're not the experts here, but there's someone in the league who is high up, who has been around, who understands how these things go, who can revamp this thing and make it actually work the way that it was intended to work.
Right.
Because it's not doing that now.
It absolutely is not. It is all for show and for metrics and aesthetic and
optics.
It feels very dirty, and that just is like if you're gonna if you're just gonna tote this around and do it so that it makes you seem a certain way, then don't do it at all. This is just weird and not good. And not effective. If you're gonna if you're gonna be serious about giving guys who are really fucking good at their jobs, who are minorities, if you want to give them a real chance, then open up some doors for them that guys like Adam Gase are getting, and they just totally fucking blow.
The thing that frustrates me the most about this, and then we can move on from this topic because we could literally go on all night about this. But the thing that frustrates me the most about this is people who argue against the points that we are making will say someone shouldn't get an opportunity just because they're a minority, just because they're black. We're not saying that. We're saying they should be given the same opportunities that everyone else is given, that white coaches are given. Because the opportunity has a smaller window when you're a minority head coach, and that's just a fact. There are facts and analytics and data to back that up. It's just a fact.
Right.
Yep.
So give them the same opportunity. If we want equality, we're not saying give them more. Give them the same.
Right.
That's all.
That's bare minimum. Like, my God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Treat them like a human. Like, I don't know what's so hard to understand about that. I could go on all night.
Yeah.
Fires me up.
It's something else.
We could do a couple episodes on this for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God.
Dumpster fire.
Let's move on to something else. Because this past weekend, like we mentioned, was the Pro Bowl, and that was in Vegas, and some shit went down in Vegas, including Alvin Kamara was arrested for battery resulting in substantial bodily harm.
The crazy part isn't even that he was arrested for it. The crazier part is that he was arrested after the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
And it happened
like they waited.
Like, did you not want your Vegas odds to go down? Because I have some serious fucking questions about that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it's shady.
Interesting. Again, metrics, optics.
Yes.
Like what's going on there?
Who thought putting a football team in Vegas was a good idea, much less the Pro Bowl?
It has been all bad.
It's been very bad.
It's been exactly what we knew it would be. You cannot stick people in a city like Vegas and be like, you're gonna thrive. It's gonna be great.
Well, and oh my God, like the Pro Bowl was happening in Vegas this past weekend, and the NHL All-Star Game was happening in Vegas this past weekend. Like, there was so much happening in Vegas on top of everything else that's already always going on in Vegas. It was like the perfect storm of a cocktail of disaster. And what are you doing? Like, just think. Use the cells up in the top of your head to critically ask yourself some questions. Like,
do we know?
Why?
Do we have details on this event? Do we know where it happened? You need to calm down.
They said a nightclub. I read a nightclub. That's really all that I've read, was that it happened at a nightclub.
Yeah. And that's all we know so far. We don't know what instigated the issue. We don't know who it was.
Very, very little detail out there about what happened. It was
I believe they were asking for people to come forward. I'm not positive, but I feel like I read that somewhere. It was pretty still vague, other than he was definitely being charged.
I just am beside myself about this entire thing. I guess we're not going to know anything yet. It will, I'm sure, inevitably come out at some point. I don't know what's going to happen as far as his league status goes. He'll likely get suspended several games, assuming that the other person is not okay based on those charges. Unless it was like a self-defense thing, in which case, who knows? Because there's no consistency in the NFL. Yeah. They just dole out punishment as they see fit. So, it
was at Dre's.
Of course it was, because it was at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it was at Dre's. Let's see if it says what time this was at.
Luca really wants to be on the show, guys.
17:50. Yeah. I have no idea what that.
17:50.
Yeah,
that's 5:50 in the morning. Oh wait, at night? Yeah, 17:50. That's like not early at all. That's like
that's like evening, right?
Yeah,
it would be like
5:50 p.m.
A little before 6 p.m. Yeah, that's
5:50 p.m. Are you really?
That's what it's saying. I don't know. Basically, I don't know. There was a tweet that's coming out now.
I wish you guys could see Luca right now. This is obscene. You need to calm down.
Luca's the fourth member right now. Okay.
Oh my God.
Jordan, are you wearing a crying Bengals lady shirt?
Oh my God.
I'm glad you asked, because yes, I am. Yes, this is my crying Bengals lady t-shirt. And in lighter news, I just need to say this. I want the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I am cheering for them. I want Aaron Donald to win. I want Matt Stafford to win. Whatever. But I don't think that there's a single person on the planet who is aware of crying Bengals lady that would say she is not the most gracious and best sport around. Yeah. Like, she has been so great about everything since she became a meme. And the fact that she is able to go to the Super Bowl and watch her team in the Super Bowl, like that. Yeah. If that were the case for a Steelers fan out there who suffered their entire life with a terrible team, like, we would love that. And I just think that she's great. And this was a shirt from Steel City like years and years ago, like going on 4 years ago, when Pittsburgh Dad did a collaboration with her. But I'm happy for her. I hope she has the time of her life. I don't even know what the fuck her name is. Crying Bengals fan.
Bengals lady.
Whatever your name is, you go, girl.
So
like
weak.
Yes.
Go. Enjoy.
We're really going to have people pissed off tomorrow. It's going to be so great.
Don't care. Whatever.
The past 3 episodes, we've talked about different kinds of ways that we don't hate on the Bengals. Even we hate the Bengals as a whole, but like there's certain aspects that we're fine with. Get off of us.
The Steelers aren't in the Super Bowl. Your life will go on. It's fine. Whoever wins, it doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of your life, you're gonna be okay. I promise. I don't want to see the Bengals win a Super Bowl, but if they win, I will sleep exactly as shitty as I always do, because it's just the way that life goes. It's fine.
We're gonna need crying Steelers fans t-shirts now after this episode.
That is gonna be a thing, and at least we can bond over it, because now we are at the bottom of the AFC North and we can all come together. It's fine. Whatever. I'm all for crying Bengals lady. I think, like, go drink some drinks in LA. Like, you just
do your thing,
forget about everything else. Enjoy it. Live it up, because she has I don't know. There are Bengals fans that threw trash on Ben Roethlisberger. I don't know those people. They probably suck. But I would be willing to bet that the majority of people in Cincinnati are just like people in Pittsburgh. They're fine. They're fine.
Yep.
Don't
Which
let
is why
this
I'm
affect
so
you
glad
so much.
People don't judge Steeler fans based on the worst of us, because I promise you,
because they're pretty
shitty
terrible.
Steelers fans too. I've encountered them myself.
So, all y'all hoes that keep reporting me every time I try to come back.
All y'all hoes.
All y'all.
Lilo's burner.
You guys got Lilo's burner suspended. Who gets Lilo suspended?
Terrible.
Angel.
Garbage people. It's terrible. But yeah, we do have the Super Bowl to look forward to. Just a really quick aside, I'm going to be smoking burgers and making other things as well. So it's going to be
coming over.
Please do. Your open invitation. Use some flight benefits and come on over, because it's going to be great.
I can't wait. So good.
It's going to be great. And hopefully, you know what? I think all 3 of us can agree. All we want is a good game.
Yeah.
We just want it to be entertaining.
Right.
Yes.
My God.
Be a good game. I just hope both teams have fun.
You just have fun. Go out there
and
I
genuinely mean that. I hope both teams have fun.
Yep.
I mean, I hope the Rams also win at the same time, but I hope both teams have fun.
Right.
Go get them, guys.
Yep. Do it. Go out there. But let's wrap this thing up, because, you know, we've been sharing a lot of feelings and emotions.
When do we not?
We always do, but that's why you're here. That's why you're here, because you love it. You love our feelings and emotions. But it's been, we keep it real. That's the only way we know how to keep it. Thank you, Steelers Nation, for joining us. As always, we love you.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Yinzhers and Instagram at Yinzhers Official.
And don't forget to subscribe, whether it's on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back every single Tuesday with another episode of Yinzhers. See you next week.